Governor.
Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is in session. The court is in session and calls number calls number M332988. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Lester Mouton. Let the record reflect that Lester Mouton is present in court with his attorney, Joel Vasquez. Let the record also reflect that the state is present with Assistant District Attorneys, Attorney Erica Porter and Attorney Colby Hoffpower. Let the record also reflect that the jury is not in the courtroom. At this time, state, are you ready?
State's ready.
Defense, are you ready? Mr. Bailiff, would you please get the jury? Everyone, please stand. But it's jury coming. Please come forward. Please have a seat in the chairs that you sitting on yesterday.
Thank you.
I guess you have to sit down until there's something.
One more still in.
Be seated. Let the record reflect that the court is back in session and calls number M332988. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Lester Mouton. Let the record reflect that Mr. Lester Mouton is present in court with his attorney, Attorney Joel Vasquez. Let the record also reflect that the state is present with Assistant District Attorneys, Attorney Erica Porter and Attorney Colby Hoffpower. Let the record reflect that the jury is now present in the courtroom. State, are you ready?
Case ready, y'all.
Defense, are you ready?
Defense is ready.
Okay, Ms. Porter, would you please read the information?
In the name. of-
Mr. Mouton, would you please stand?
In the name and by authority of the state of Texas, comes now the undersigned Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents into the county court a law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Lester Mouton, hereinafter is styled the defendant, heretofore on or about August the 20th, 2022, did and there intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly cause bodily injury to another, namely Mary Thomas. Hereinafter styled the complainant by striking the complainant in the head with his closed fist, and at the time of said assault, complainant was a member of the defendant's household, against the peace and dignity of the state.
Mr. Mouton, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, Mr. Mouton, you may be seated. State, would you like to make an opening statement?
State waives opening.
Defense,
Waive our opening.
state, you can call your first witness.
State calls Mary Thomas.
Mary Thomas. Mary Thomas. Response.
State, you'd like to call your next witness?
State rested this time.
Uh,
And I will say, we made extreme efforts to locate Mary Thomas, especially over these last couple of days. We've called various phone lines, we've left various messages, and we've been unable to reach her.
okay. State has arrested Mr. Vasquez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the defense would move for a directed verdict of not guilty.
Okay, that motion will be granted. Mr. Mouton, you have been, you may be seated. Mr. Mouton, you have been acquitted of these charges. Court has granted a directed verdict in this case. And so therefore, at this time, you have been acquitted of these charges. Our court coordinator will get a clerk, and we'll have that judgment available for you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this has ended your jury service. What you witnessed was that the state witness had called their witness. Their witness did not appear, and therefore the state wasn't able to go forward. The state rested their case, and the evidence was not sufficient to find Mr. Mouton guilty of his charges. Therefore, the court granted what we call a directed verdict or instructed verdict in this case. And so therefore, he has been acquitted of these charges because I think, as was mentioned to you during voir dire, the state has the burden of proof. It has to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt. And the state failed to meet that burden. And because they failed to meet the burden, they rested, and the defense asked on a directed verdict, and it was granted. So at this time, your services as a jury in this case has concluded. Again, on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County, and behalf of the citizens here, and behalf of the staff here in County Court at Law Number 2, I would like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to be here today. This is a first for me as a judge, since I've been here since 2016. So it's the first time that we've had one that where we picked a jury, and then we got to the point, and then it ended up where the witness didn't show up, and it ended up being a directed verdict. So I do not want you to think that you wasted your time, because you did not waste your time. We would have not been able to go forward with this case without citizens like you who've taken time out from your busy schedules. And I'd like to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedules to be here. Now, if you would like to talk to any one of the attorneys, you can. If you do not want to talk to any one of the attorneys, you do not have to. Now, I would tell you this, that anytime you're in this area, in County Court at Law Number 2, please feel free to come and see what goes on in County Court at Law Number 2. As I mentioned earlier, I know when you came here to court, yes, on Tuesday, you looked at the top above the door and you said, oh, this is Judge Holmes' court. I'm in the right place. Well, this is not my court. This is your courtroom, because this is the courtroom for the citizens of Jefferson County. And anytime that you're in this area, you can please have a seat in your courtroom in that area back there behind the wall that we call the bar. We call that the peanut gallery, but it doesn't mean you can bring peanuts in here and eat. However, you can come in here and see what goes on in your courtroom. I tell people this all the time. What happens in court is very interesting. I personally think that it's better than watching television, because you see what actually goes on in your community and you'll see some interesting things. So at this time, your services are concluded. And before you leave, I usually give a handshake, so I give everyone an air handshake. Okay. And make sure that you give the tags to our bailiff. The bailiff have some letters that he'll be giving out to you. And if you have any questions, you can just, I guess, feel free to ask any questions. So at this time, this case has concluded. Everyone, just please stand as they exit, and every one of you have a blessed day. Okay?